Hello guys, it's Justin, J&J Dynasty, giving you a quick shout. Basically, I wanted to just make a quick video. I'm at the camper. I've been doing some mock drafts, so I wanted, or not mock drafts, real MFL drafts. Alright guys, sorry about the shaking. I'm in my rocking chair, chillaxing. I've started my second rookie draft, and I'll show you some results. But I've got results of 5 one quarterback PPR standard dynasty leagues, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the results with you, and there's going to be a couple things that I'm going to put in there that I want you guys to see, as far as what I've been not saying, but why I did what I did. All right, so here we go. Let's get this back up, get her centered right. Apologize about the shaking. I'm in my rocking chair, got my feet kicked up. It's the way it goes. All right, here we go. This is what the results for round 1 are. So as you can see, we got the results for round 1, and I put a little green tab on the 12, 24, and 36 pick. So I note in my sheet that that's what the players' positions are, right? So as we look here and see if I can point, because this is backwards on my computer, so got to have you remember this. So right there, this column here, that's my draft, and it was actually right in the middle of these 5 drafts. So that's what it chronologically came to. So number 2, number 3, and then number 1, and then 4 and 5, and this is the one I'm currently in right now. That's how many picks are, and those are the guys there. That's why they're in italics, and that's what that is. So what I did, I made it really simple, right? Right here. Right there. So that one is the total number of points right here for the 5, right? For all these 5. So I did a sum on those, so get 5, and then I divided it by as many drafts as there was. So I got the number. So really the total number here, and that's why I broke it down that way, is the actual number of points that they got. And we're playing golf score. The lowest is the best, right? So that's what we're doing. Now finally, right? Now when you get way over here, well, I gotta do this one. How do I do that? Way over here, right? The last one, the little light blue column. I put that in there for effect. Now, if you notice what that blue column is that's the June's Fantasy Pros value of the players for the trade value chart. So I took those off and put them in there to see what that value rank would be. So as you can see in all the drafts, it shows you the exact draft position that they have, right? Now, one thing that I did also, because I went off of my first draft, right? Right there, right? That's, as you notice, those are numbered right down. I put the guys in who were actually drafted. I wound up adding a couple other guys after I quit my draft that were in my league, and I put them in there. If they did not get drafted, I just put a 60 value in there for them. So I would give them a number, because when you're playing the low score, did that. I didn't want to just blow them totally out of the water if they had some relevance. So, but you'll see at the bottom, if anybody has a 60, that means they didn't get drafted in that draft. All right? I mean, not at all. And that's some of the quarterbacks. So that's what that is. So so let's talk about the first rounds here. I mean, almost every one of them is 1, 2, 3, 4 with the top 4 guys there. And you can see the standard deviation right there is not much at all. And Garrett Wilson, and then all the way through James Cook, you got 4 guys who are difference of 1.5 points. So they're all interchangeable in your league. So if you're looking at doing a draft, know that there's going to be movement or a lot of ability to have movement. And actually, just for argument's sake, the italicized column here, right there, the picks 5 and 6 just went, and it was Williams and Garrett Wilson. So just wanted to let you know that I'm tracking that league, that one also, because I'm going to continue to do that. I've got upcoming drafts, and so that's going to be a good one there. So, but this gives you an idea of how fantasy pros, the professionals with their draft chart or trade chart are looking. And I didn't match them up, and I should have. Now that I'm thinking of it, they have the rookie. They will rank the rookies on their chart. So, my bad. I didn't go that far into it. I just wanted to know what the value was on the trade chart, just as a kind of a fun thing. So we got 1 through 5 or 1 through 12 here. This is all the first round, and I broke down 3 just slightly over plus rounds of the guys. Now, if your guy wasn't on there, he wasn't getting drafted much. There's a couple guys that Strong, Snoop was one of the guys that got drafted once or twice. Snoop Connor got drafted like really early in the 3rd round in one draft, and I think in the other 4 drafts he did not get drafted at all. So that's why those guys aren't even on the list. Doesn't mean that they weren't drafted in some drafts, but they weren't drafted enough, and they would have been really high. I mean, we've got 37 rookies. If you looked at some of the other videos I made, there's even in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, there's veterans being taken. So by round 4, people are filling their rosters with veterans, and round 5 is just a crapshoot. A lot of defenses, kickers, and things like that. So if you get 37 with rookies deep, that's a lot. And I just called it good. So after that, you pick who you want because you got a feeling on them. Do what you will. I'm not gonna say that you're not doing the right thing, because hey, you got a better feel for them than anybody else. So I just wanted to take some time on that one, and we're going to get to the next page here. And like I said, I apologize for the jerky, but hopefully the numbers stay still, right? So here's round 2, and this is how it breaks down. As you can see, there's a little bit of a ledge after like 14 and 15 are there together, and then you got 2 17s, and then you break it apart, and there's a jump to 19s. And 19 and 20, so 19 to 20.8, less than 2 points. There's 4 draft picks there, right? And then you start breaking them up again. But this shows you that, these guys, Trey McBride, should only be a late 2nd round value. If you're picking him before double digits in the 2nd round, you're jumping on him way too early. If you want to be safe, 209, I could say, okay, fine, because you have a good feeling about him. But before that, probably not so much. And so, caveat, if there is a discrepancy in the numbers anywhere, not my fault. I was doing the sum functions with Excel, so hopefully I did it right. I believe I did check the math, and I did the sorts, so everything should be right on the numbers and where they're at. So this is your 2nd round. I mean, it was the top end of the 2nd round is very heavy because a lot of people are looking for running backs. Not many running backs went in the 1st round, so at the beginning of the 2nd, people are reaching hard. So I mean, all the usual suspects are there. Guys that a lot of people think that they need to get in the 1st round, end of the 1st, like Spiller and Pierce. On average, this is where they're going. We're White. So not Zamir White. So there you go. Davis Pierce in the one draft, you can see on his numbers, somebody reached up and got him at 14. So again, we're trying to figure out what the averages are, not what the maniacs are doing, right? That guy may be from his college, maybe knows him personally, wants him, whatever. I don't think that it would be a handcuff. I mean, San Francisco, yes, everybody wants a piece of that offense, but there's no reason to draft him that high. So unless you've got inside knowledge and that he's going to be the starter. So if you have that, tip my hat to you. And that's going to be my saying for today. Tip of the hat, because I'm in the camper. All right. So I think we've covered that enough. A lot of running backs in round 2 because people are desperate. And if you look over on the Fan Pro side, let me think about this. Oh, it's that way. Yeah, the very far one over that way, the last one in the light blue. You're going to be looking at the values on the wide receivers holding the most value. for the draft pick, right? The one thing is that when you see down in Trey McBride, he jumps up to 23, highly overrated for the trade value. I mean, there's nobody that's going to give you, I think at 23 is like a late first round pick. So you know, nobody's going to give you that for Trey McBride for trading him. So that's just false. All right, so let's get to the last page here and show you that. I think hopefully I rambled enough, gave you enough time to take a look at these. If not, you can always pause to take a look at them, right? So here we go. This is the final set of rounds, right? So Justin Ross, for being an undrafted player, is going incredibly high in these drafts, right? I mean, you look at that. Wan'Dale Robinson, he was a second-round pick being drafted right next to a guy who was an undrafted free agent. I don't get it. I don't get it. Ingram, I like the thought process behind him, but is he going to beat out Benjamin? That's the question. We all know Connor's going to get hurt. He gets hurt every year. He's not going to put up the touchdowns that he did last year. So I at pick 28, I like the stab. The stab to try to get him. Velus Jones, no, he shouldn't even be on the board there. But this is where you can start seeing it down here. Guys who didn't get drafted. Velus Jones is the first one, I believe. Is that right? Maybe Shakur was the first one that didn't get drafted. Unless I missed that one, but I'm pretty sure I did not. He's the first one that didn't get drafted. And Traquan Thornton, Traquan didn't get drafted one. Yeah, so all those guys from that point below didn't get drafted in the league. So you got to remember that these guys are 3 rounds in. So if you do have somebody or teams that are releasing guys who have value, they're going to go before the draft. Albert Oke, Corey Davis. I've seen some other, Chris Carson. If people think that he's going to be healthy this year, they're out there grabbing those guys. So in the third, late third, early fourth round. So there's a bunch of guys. So like I said, I'm only going 3. That was enough work here, pulling these numbers up, watching these drafts and them happening. And so just wanted to say that this is deep enough. If you get somebody who's not on this list, just draft them after 3-5 and you're fine, right? Second half of the third round, 4th round or 5th round, that's a plenty good of a reach, and you should be able to get them easily at that point. All right, so that's kind of the information there. I just wanted to make this video so people can see the numbers from 5 drafts. So it's not super substantial, but it's pretty substantial for early June to give you a market value of where these guys are today. And today's June 8th, June 9th, I think. So before the 10th of June, the first third of June. So that gives you an idea for your drafts. So even if you're drafting mid to late June, you'll have an idea, unless something miraculously changes. But the mock draft things, don't really trust them. I trust people making picks. I shouldn't say people. Idiots making picks, right? Because this is how they actually value them. Not how a computer is going to simulate them valuing them. Not how experts are going to value them. How idiots who play every day are valuing them. All right? So that's what this is. And hopefully I've given you enough time on this and rambled like a moron. And if you like the video, you like the video. If you don't, at least look at the graphs. It gives you some knowledge. And that's that. So I'm going to get back to watching TV and doing nothing in the camper. And you have a great day. Until then, take care. Peace out.